After an exhausting fight against the Reverse Flash, Barry realizes that he had been granted new negative powers that he simply couldn't use without causing so much destruction. He was also healing way slower and experiencing anger issues all the time, and therefore decided to stop using his powers altogether. But then later, when he gets told that someone is stealing blood samples from the police department, he went to the crime lab only to find the evidence all burned down. He couldn't use his negative powers to save the people there and therefore tried doing it on his own, but instead ended up passing out. However, later when his team would get mad at him for showing up on his own when they had warned him not to, Barry would lash out like never before due to his negative powers. He leaves the room thinking about those blood samples until he realizes that the thief probably has them in a place like the morgue where they wouldn't stand out. So he immediately speeds over there and finds a coroner called Ramsay toying with the samples, trying to destroy them, only for him to suddenly fall down in pain. Ramsay tells Barry that after having this job for years, he realized how vulnerable human life really is, and that his was even more vulnerable because he was a hemophiliac. He therefore decided to make himself invulnerable to never bleed again by injecting himself with blood samples from metahumans that also enabled him to control blood and make it burn like he's doing with Barry's right now. However, just as Ramsay mentioned that he's gonna kill Flash and everyone in the CCPD, Barry was so enraged that he hit him with a black lightning bolt, throwing him outside of the building. Barry straight up thought that he had killed the guy, talking about that he is no better than Thawne, until Ramsay stood up stating that all he ever wanted to do was to protect himself and possibly even others. But now that Flash had helped him test how invulnerable he really is, he's gonna heal Central City from its infection and finally put an end to the Flash as the one and only Bloodwork. Barry tried calming him down, telling him that he isn't a villain, but Ramsay was hearing none of it as he spreads his blood veins throughout the city, ultimately covering up Flash. He didn't want to fight Ramsay, but letting him go wouldn't be justice, so he kept distracting him until he realized that the more Ramsay got upset, the quicker his blood flowed. So he quickly went up to him, trying to talk him down, telling him that they're more alike than he thinks, as he too had recently let all the negativity build up in his life, hurting the people he cared about. Blood slowly started calming down as Flash promised him to help him fix this before he just shocked him with the negative powers, turning him back to normal.